questions. That's it.
I completely agree.
Woo.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to Dear Shandy listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Oh, good.
I'm good.
Because?
Just because. Woke up good.
You did wake up good.
Yeah.
Actually, last night, you were like, I think I'm getting what you have or have had. If anyone is, I mean, maybe people can tell that I sound like I'm getting over something. I have been sick. We're here in Ireland and I got sick. And last night you were like, I think I'm getting it. And then this morning you were like, do, 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 do. That's always my morning song.
I haven't beaten a cold and I was getting it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was thinking I was getting
wood
it.
to
I was
knock on right now?
definitely getting it.
Yeah.
Like I was fully like sick-ish last night.
Yeah.
And I haven't beaten a cold like that in I think like 20 years. So I think I got to be careful with what I say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you felt amazing this morning and I was very jealous. Okay. Well, we are recording this Q&A in Ireland for any of our, what we call our diehard Shandies, the Shandies who don't listen to recaps, but do listen to regular programming. Then this is the first episode that they'll hear recorded in Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Ah.
So we're in Ireland for an opera. And we had to record because we couldn't pre-record everything while we were here.
Of course not.
No.
What are we?
Machines?
We're not machines.
No.
Or are we?
Sometimes I feel like we are. Like we're doing this on my day off. It's Sunday.
You know, we may be machines.
Yeah, slightly. I think in order to have two careers, I mean, at this point, podcasting is sort of like secondary career for both of us. I think you do need to kind of be a machine to balance two things.
Yeah. And it's the primary career for the two of us together.
Oh, for Shandy.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
We are Shandy together.
We are.
Don't forget that.
So do you feel ready? Oh, wait, do we have housekeeping?
Well, you're wearing this delightful shirt.
I am wearing the Varsity Ringer tee, the Dear Shandy Varsity Ringer tee, now available at dearshandy.com/merch. I to be honest, I'm very proud of my styling today because I have completely run out of clothes here and I am just getting more and more inventive
it's really amazing. You have a real talent.
I mean, when I pack for a trip like this, it's every single thing I pack, I'm like, this needs to be worn at least 3 separate ways.
Yeah. It's like someone gave a chef 3 ingredients and like you have to cook for someone for a month. And every day that person's like, yeah, this is great. Every day.
Maybe more like 12 ingredients.
What 3 ingredients would you have if you could only eat 3 ingredients for a month? 3
ingredients?
Yeah, I can think of 2 that I would have.
Okay, can I guess what yours are and you guess what mine are?
Go ahead.
Like the to cook with?
Yeah, I have 3 ingredients to cook with for a month. That's all I have.
Okay, for you, one of the ingredients is tomatoes.
Yeah.
Another one is onions.
Surprisingly, yes.
Yes, because onions
very
can
versatile.
Make or break. It's not like they're the star, but they're going to make something way more pleasant.
They create a base.
Yes.
They're a third of mirepoix.
Yeah. And the third one for you.
Come
that's
on.
hard.
Come on, you know what the third one is.
Wait, are we talking like the base of like sauces or like, because I would say pasta, gluten-free pasta.
Salmon.
Oh,
how could you forget that?
I should have gotten that.
Yeah.
I should have gotten that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about protein.
You were not.
We laugh about the protein thing because we always laugh when you go to a restaurant. They're like, would you like to add protein to that? As though it's not, an animal.
Yeah. How would the animal feel about that?
Yeah.
Just like, my name's Protein? That's cool. What does that mean? Oh.
So also we want to quickly mention, this is the thing we do at the top of Q&As now. We mention the Shandy off the record. If you are the kind of Shandy who listens to Dear Shandy and you're like, oh, I would love
Can you imagine a Shandy who doesn't listen to Dear Shandy?
I was formulating my sentence, okay?
Sorry,
I wasn't
Go
thinking.
Ahead. You're doing
but
great.
if you're the person who listens to this podcast and you're like, oh, I would love the Shandy take, I would love Shandy's opinion, I'm thinking, this is you thinking, I'm not speaking in the third person right now.
Yeah, you got it.
But you're afraid of it being on a podcast for some reason.
For good reason sometimes. You never know.
You're a private person. You just don't want it out in the ether. Then you could come on for a Shandy off the record where basically it's like a caller episode, except it never sees the light of day.
Yeah.
And so you just chat with us kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if that interests you, you can email dearshandy@gmail.com. And Andy, do you feel ready to get going with the non-private questions.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. All right. This first question is from S, as in the letter. Dear Shandy and Ruby.
Oh, Shruby? No.
Shruby, you're the one getting eliminated from Shruby.
I am getting eliminated. That'd be Shanduby.
Ugh. Yeah, no. We'll pretend you didn't say that. Thank you so much for bringing joy and laughter every week when I'm driving. I'm also a big fan of Ruby's Instagram account.
Oh, cute. Good. You know what Ruby's Instagram account is? Ruby's Instagram account is to Dear Shandy as Dear Shandy is to Charlene Joint's Instagram account.
It's true. M joined my company late last year as the chief of staff. He is my boss's boss. We work together all the time, get along really well. The banter is on point, and he is always very professional. On occasion, we have social gatherings outside the office, and we always end up talking to each other all night. Next to each other, talking to each other all night. I noticed that he might be attracted to me, but never thought something would happen. He obviously is my office crush. He is incredibly smart and has an amazing sense of humor. That is until last week when we had a big event, alcohol involved, and it was his birthday. We were people watching. People were out of control, kissing like teenagers. He pulled me aside and directly said to me, what would it take for us to be those people?
Wait, what kind of company do they work at? Why is everyone making out?
I don't know. It's a really good question. Instead of me saying no, all I could say was that he is married. He told me he is very attracted to me and asked if I had noticed. I replied that I knew and that I also find him attractive. Nothing happened that night. I went straight home. I was worried that Monday everything would be awkward, but it happened the complete opposite. It was easy, the chemistry is still there, and obviously the flirting has escalated on both sides. How come I feel like I'm about to overstep my biggest boundary? Could this just be a one-night stand? Am I about to become a mistress? I already know the guy never leaves the wife. Help. Thank you for reading this. S. P.S. I'm sorry about my grammar. English is my second language. S. Your English is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can only dream of writing this well in my second language.
That's the age-old question.
Yeah, am I about to become a mistress?
Do you bang your boss?
Well, I do think the fact that he's her boss, not only the boss, he's the chief of staff. He's the boss's boss. Well, you think that doesn't come with a certain...
Yeah. There's some cachet there. This is a complicated one. And you have to consider three things. One is there's cheating involved.
Yes.
Marital cheating.
Yes.
Which is a high form of cheating.
It is a high form.
It's the highest you get.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's nothing more than that.
Top tier cheating.
Top tier cheating. Yeah.
Gold star cheating.
Yeah. That's like Kettle One of cheating. Is that?
I was thinking Grey Goose.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't drink that much anymore. I think Kettle One is up there.
Really?
Grey Goose has become, it was the top, then it kind of crept down.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Oh, you
wow, that was a
love
really
that store.
Random Bed Bath & Beyond mention.
Yeah, I never thought vodka and Bed Bath & Beyond would come together, but there it is.
It worked.
So anyway, cheating, big cheating there.
Yes.
And she's going to be a guilty party, but she knows. It's not like she doesn't know he's married. She knows. So she knows she's doing a bad thing.
Yes.
Number two is he is a very senior person. So that could cut both ways. For her, it could be great career-wise, or it could be terrible.
Yes.
I don't know how things work in Central America,
Yeah.
but I know in this country that the bonee, meaning her, has a lot more power these days than the boner.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good point.
So I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But my point is, I think that she will have some degree of leverage if she decides to commit this sin.
Wait, but that doesn't even seem to be on her radar.
I'm not saying it is, but it should be.
Okay, I can see where you're headed with this.
I just want to lay it all out.
Yeah. People listen to Dear Shandy for your brutally honest take.
I'm doing my best here.
You are? You're doing God's work over here.
Yes, absolutely. So number 3 is this could blossom into an actual relationship. She could be a home wrecker, But in the end, everyone could be happy except this guy's wife. So, that happens. Let's be honest. That happens. Maybe he's meant to be with her and not his wife. Who knows? So you got to weigh all these things. The bottom line is she has to make a decision. Does she, number one, want to jeopardize a family?
Yeah.
It's a big, big thing to do. It's a very, very big thing to do. My guess is this guy, it's not his first rodeo.
I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm biting my tongue. I will speak soon, but
yeah,
yes.
You will speak soon. But I'm going to be done very soon. This is a fair warning.
You feel like it's not the first time he has cheated on his wife.
He has been through this before with people under him, in his company, out of the company, everywhere. So he's done this before. That kind of, to me, lessens the sin a little bit on her part, because I think she's just a number in his grand scheme. Not necessarily a number that
let's
he doesn't
be honest.
care about.
He's the. I really believe that the person cheating, like, I'm not saying the other woman is innocent by any means, but the person cheating on the wife is to me the real.
He's
bad
committing
guy.
the big sin.
Yeah.
She's an accomplice.
Yes.
She's the getaway car.
Yeah.
He robs a bank. She drives him home.
Totally.
Okay.
She's still doing prison time.
Oh, she's doing it heavy. As a matter of fact, you probably maybe the same amount of time as him, unless she turns and she testifies against him. Then it's possible that she gets it. Anyway, that's different.
Okay.
So number one, she's committing a sin, and she has to be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
That's a heavy thing to do. Number two is she's changing the dynamic of her career. No question. There's almost no question. This is going to somehow slightly change the dynamic of her career for better or worse.
Yes.
To me, no question.
Yes.
And that's a big deal. So this has
Huge.
got to be someone she really likes and wants to pursue something with. And that gets to my third thing. Does she realistically think that there is a possible future? And I know that that's hard to gauge right now, but she has to really think about that and really gauge. And you know what? I think, personally,
Yes.
this is a smooch situation.
Just a smooch.
Just a smooch. Feel it out and then make a decision.
Okay. So I think, everything you're saying is right, except for the smooch situation part.
Yeah. I mean, that's the part where I know people are not going to.
Well, people are going to come at you.
Yeah.
And I think you're wrong in that, for me, I don't get a vibe from this email that, you know what I'm lacking from this? And you touched on this when you said she needs to make a decision. What I feel about how this email's been written, and I'm realizing as we get talking about it, like, I chose this one in the first position thinking it would be like a light and easy one, but there's actually a lot to unpack here. Like, it is light and easy in a way. It's also really heavy and dark if you think about the ramifications of her actually acting on this.
There's a lot at stake here.
But the thing that I am lacking from her email and that you touched on is conviction. Yeah. She acts like this is happening to her. She is just in the passenger seat of a car that's being driven. It's the runaway car. And she's just like happens to be along for the ride, robbing the bank. Yeah. She says, "Am I about to become the mistress?"
Right.
She doesn't mention he's married until she quotes herself responding to him saying, "How can we be like those people kissing?"
Another great point.
She doesn't say at the top, he's 47 and he's married. No. Like, I'm sorry, that should be up there with his age and gender.
You're absolutely right. I'm glad you touched on that.
Yeah.
The fact that she's discounted that to the back middle of her email says a lot.
It does. And then the fact that it's like, is this what's happening? Am I going to blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
This is where the conviction comes in. You have power over your actions, S. You have the power to say, no, I don't want to become the other woman. And we like to consider ourselves a very non-judgmental space here. We've had cheaters and cheaties write in. We've both been cheaters and cheaties. Like, whenever anyone's on their high horse about cheating, I'm always like, okay, well, enjoy the bubble you live in. But
it happens.
Reality is it happens.
It happens.
But I think that for cheating to happen, it has to be, it kind of reminds me of, we had 2 Q&As ago, we talked about how someone wanted to hit on their cousin. And we're like, if you want to hit on your cousin, like, it's got to be undeniable. Yeah. Like, it has to be like, you cannot.
The greatest love of all time.
It's the greatest love of all time. Yeah. That's how I feel about cheating. Like, if it's cheating, if you're going to cheat, if you're going to possibly end a marriage or like disrupt a marriage significantly, who knows, maybe there are kids involved. It's very possible he has children. In order for you to enter that territory, it needs to be a hell of a lot more than like
dalliance. You can't think dalliance.
Yes, right now it feels just kind of like, oh, like the banter's on point. We always end up talking to each other.
Can I
the
tell you
flirting
something?
has escalated. It's like that to me is not once in a lifetime love.
So your analysis has changed my tune. Not that I was gung ho for her to do this.
Yeah. No,
I really don't want to make it seem like I was.
No.
I'm really not.
No one thinks that, Andy.
No, I know I'm not a monster.
No,
not
but
completely.
I understand your perspective though. Like you were looking at it very mathematically.
I'm saying if you're at a buffet and you're not sure like if the food has been prepared right or kept at the proper temperature, maybe just take a little tiny taste just to get it on your tongue. Be like, that doesn't seem right. But I'm changing my tune.
Yeah.
Based on your analysis, I thought of something. I think the way she's asked this question is not asking about a situation. She's asking permission. Where she wants to cheat.
Yes, 100%.
And she's like, oh, poor me. I'm going to have to cheat now. Dear Shandy, is it okay?
Yeah,
it's okay, right? I mean, you're going to say it's okay.
Does she think we're going to say it's okay?
She's talking to me. She thought I was going to say it's okay. I mean, I don't blame her. But I am going to say it's not okay.
Well, it's not. It's
not in this situation.
No.
I say no.
I mean, I agree.
There's too much at stake.
Yes.
I've thought about it. There's too much at stake. It's not worth it. And the way she's framing the question, I repeat, seems like she's saying, I'm going to do this. Give me permission.
Yes.
And I don't like that.
No. We're not going to give it to her.
No, we're not giving her permission.
I also want to touch on something that I feel like she's not realizing she possesses in the state. And you touched on it when you talked about how this could affect her career. You are in a moment. You are in this spot. It's a very rare position to be in where you have either so much more leverage than you realize, and also you are at risk of losing everything you've worked for. Like it's a very careful. It's like
is
a
she
seesaw.
willing to gamble her life? This is a big gamble. She's rolling dice.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. This guy could get really weird and be like, "Oh, you're not going to give me what I want. Okay, then I'm going to find a way to fire you."
Yeah.
Or screw you up in your career, never give you a promotion.
Right,
he can do that.
Right now in this just, flirty place, a lot of people have office crushes with people who are unavailable. And we've talked before about how work...
Keep it going. Keep the crush going forever.
Work crushes can be, they're often best. No, they're almost always best.
Unconsummated.
Yes, always.
And they're good.
Yeah, well,
they're sometimes better than real relationships. Usually better.
It gives you a little pep in your step. You sort of...
It's a game.
Yeah, it's a game, and you sort of just enjoy... It breathes a little life into what might otherwise be a boring work life. However, it's really important not to let it go into dangerous territory.
Yes.
And I think when one of the parties is your boss's boss and married...
Yeah.
You are really gambling. You are playing with fire. For me, it has to be
lightning bolts, like lightning bolts.
It has to be once in a generation
of a millennium.
Love. Yes.
A love that a movie will be made about by a big director, not an indie film.
Yes.
A major director.
Okay, I think we've answered this one as, I'm sorry, Shandy is not giving you permission to become the other woman. But if you take one thing away from our answer, I really think it should be the lack of conviction in your email. And I want you to observe that in yourself. Yeah. How you seem to just think this is happening to you and you're being whisked away by the wind or by your boss's boss and all of these things. You have much more control over your actions than you seem to realize.
Yes.
And that should make you feel empowered.
Yeah, totally.
Frankly.
And flattered. Look,
the guy flattered.
He has many choices of who he can inappropriately hit on.
Yeah.
And he's chosen you.
Enjoy, I guess.
One skin sends zombie cells back to hell.
Yes, Andy, one skin. We are talking, this is science-based skincare and zombie cells. You've heard us talk about the zombie cells in your skin, but, a refresher. Senescent cells. They are in your skin. They're in my skin. They're in your Andy's skin. Senescent cells are dysfunctional cells. They're actually the central source of aging in your skin. And you would think that's bad enough, but it actually gets worse because they affect the healthy cells around them. So if you could combat senescent cells, you could quite literally reverse your skin's biological age Wouldn't that be awesome, Andy?
Not only would it be awesome, but why are you not using science on your skin?
Mm-hmm. Why are you using just pretty packaging?
Pretty
and
packaging,
like floral scents.
smelly creams.
Yeah. Smelly creams. Yeah, but oftentimes it's just pretty packaging. It's a nice scent. It's a good texture, but it's not actually doing anything. OneSkin is the ultimate in using science to truly not just treat the symptoms of skin aging, but actually treat the root cause. And what makes OneSkin so special is they have their proprietary OS1 peptide. And remember, this company was founded by scientists. And they put a lot of research into this peptide to discover that it could actually reverse your skin's biological age by not months, but years.
OS1 is the proverbial holy water you're throwing on these blood-sucking vampires. There's an arms race in healthy-looking skin, let's be honest. And if you're building an army in your town to protect it from aging skin...
This is sounding like a video game.
and you have... all these zombies within your city walls.
Oh, it's so
But
true.
you're ignoring them. You're like, we don't need to worry about them. We're just building our army, and one day an enemy's come. No, the enemy's right there. There's zombies wandering around everywhere.
That is such a good visual, Andy. And I have been using OneSkin products for almost a year now, and I think it's doing something.
Yeah, proof's in the pudding. That pudding face.
That's my pudding face.
So OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company.
It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine with a discounted rate today.
Get a free travel bag, a $39 value with your first OneSkin order over $79 with code TRAVELGIFT at oneskin.co.
That's a free travel bag with code TRAVELGIFT at oneskin.co.
We only have one body and one skin, and only you can choose to make it better.
Age healthy with OneSkin. So, Andy, we are recording this Huel ad after having recorded a whole episode, and I'm going to tell you, I could really use some Huel right now.
Yeah. Where's our Huel?
Yeah, our Huel energy drinks. And normally at home in New York, we have a ton of Huel in our fridge. And this is the exact moment. This is the moment right now where I'd be like, and I would go to the fridge and take a swig of the blue raspberry. It's the best one.
A delicious pick-me-up.
A delicious pick-me-up.
With all the health benefits.
Yes, each can has 133 health benefits, 200 milligrams of caffeine, and not like jolty energy. It's smooth, sustained energy. I love that. Like you feel the difference. It doesn't feel like, like it gives you like
anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes when I have an energy drink, I'm like, I don't like that feeling. Huel is so smooth. It just gives me the pick-me-up I need. Plus, they have 27 vitamins and minerals.
And it comes in delectable flavors like watermelon, blue raspberry, and pineapple and mango.
They really have the flavors figured out over at Huel. So these Energy Plus drinks, by the way, have no sugar. So you get that delicious flavor. The flavors are really good. Yeah. I cannot stress this enough because I've had my share of energy drinks where I'm just not interested. I don't like the jitters. I don't like the flavor. It's like gross. It reminds me of like cough syrup. Yeah. Huel has their flavors down.
So take the leap and join the community of Hueligans.
Get 15% off your order with code DearShandy at Huel. That's HUEL.com.
That's 15% off with code DearShandy at Huel.com.
Unlock a healthier, easier way to fuel your day with Huel.
Nutritionally complete energy in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. A little sun between the toes always takes away the woes.
All right, this next question is from Jane. Dear Shandy, I have been a fan since the Pretty Panda days. Oh, thank you, Jane. I love me a panda. Yeah. You two make me laugh out loud every time I listen, and I feel I am a more empathetic and thoughtful person because of your podcast. Aww. Thank you for all you do. Oh my God, that's the best compliment. Thank you, Jane. My name is Jane, 29 years old, married to Nate, 30. Nate has a brother named Corey, 27, and I have a sister, Tia, 32.
What are the odds neither Nate nor Corey ever skateboarded?
Well, I don't think any of these are real names because Jane is not her real name.
Oh, you're right. But every Corey has skateboarded, right? Has there been a Corey that hasn't skateboarded?
And Nate too. Yeah.
And Nate, yeah.
We all live in the same general vicinity near a big city on the East Coast. Tia, my sister, has been single for 3 years with no luck despite really putting in the effort to meet someone. She's on the apps, goes out to bars, joined a rec hockey team, has a dog, etc. I love how having a dog is an effort to meet someone.
You know what? As we've learned.
Oh, I think it 100%.
I don't know why you just.
I'm laughing because of how true it is.
It's the number one way to meet someone.
We've met
it's
so
almost
many
such
people.
a hack. I don't want to tell people, but they'll stop listening to our podcast because there's no reason for us to
because
exist
they'll just-
anymore. But you just get a dog and you meet someone.
Oh, yeah. No, I really believe.
But then you have to make the relationship work, so they'll still have to listen to us. The dog's not going to make the relationship
Andy,
work.
stop making decisions out of
I'm
fear.
feeling threatened by dogs now.
Nonetheless, she has had a run of terrible dates, men who ghost, or she found out they were cheating, making her the other woman. Tia is beautiful, fit, outgoing, and has a stable job and her own apartment. Corey, my brother-in-law, just got out of a long-term relationship of 3 years. He is handsome and generally an outgoing, fun-loving guy. However, due to a tragedy he endured at a young age, he can be admittedly moody, closed off, and has bouts of depression that make him hard to be close to. Since Corey became single, Tia has been very into him. They made out drunkenly twice, but have yet to acknowledge the kissing sober. Tia is becoming increasingly interested in Corey and has been asking me for information and advice, etc. Additionally, Nate has disclosed to me that Corey is interested in Tia, but is worried about hurting her due to his tendency to shut people out.
Sad.
Should I support my sister in her pursuit of my brother-in-law? Is there too much at risk if they were to date, then break up and inevitably have to see each other at every family party? Tia so badly wants to find someone to love and be a partner to, but I am not sure if Corey is the best partner for her personality-wise. Any advice on how I should encourage or discourage this potential relationship would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much in advance, Jane.
This is a tough one. It's tough.
Yeah, you think it's tough?
I think it's tough in the sense I know what I'm going to say and I know what you're going to say. Just let it happen. Let it happen. Right?
Go. You
You weren't
I
going to
don't
say
know.
that?
I want to see what you say. It's always interesting to hear what you think I'm going to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, family stuff, relationships in family situations are, they're fraught with potential danger because you have to see your family. You can't just run away.
Yeah.
So that's one
And this
thing.
is close family.
It's
These
close
are
family.
siblings. I mean, it's their
close
brother-in-law,
family.
sister-in-law. Like, this is close.
It's close family. And then there's the other thing, like when you know two people who want to date each other, but you kind of know there's personality issues with one that are not super desirable.
Yeah.
But then again, who is it your place to say, oh, by the way, this person is an undesirable because
Yeah.
of these reasons, so you shouldn't date them.
Yeah.
And shut that off. Who knows? Puzzle pieces can
Sometimes,
you never know. Two very troublesome personalities can form one okay personality.
Yeah.
right?
Two wrongs.
There you go. So my feeling is that she should not like pound her foot, encourage this. She should step back a little bit and be like, you know what, you guys do whatever you want. I think maybe it could work. See what happens. That's it.
I completely agree. I could not agree more. This is my hands are like up.
Yeah.
I'm not involved.
Yeah.
You do what you will. Because look, in the very off chance that this works out, then she's the dick that tried to prevent them from making it work.
Yeah. And they'll be like, thanks for your help.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're my sister.
Yeah, we
You're supposed
got
to look
together.
out for me.
Yeah, we got together in spite of you.
This is a perfect situation to be completely like a referee.
Yes.
Literally just like, I am fair and balanced.
Yes.
You do what you want.
Yeah.
I am not going to take credit, nor am I going to be blamed. Put yourself in a position of no credit or blame.
Yes. She is so connected to both parties and basically has to extricate herself. She has to deconnect herself from the entire situation and separate herself from the fact that the way they know each other is because of her and her husband.
You know,
right?
you know what the suggestions you can give? You can say, I think you guys, you know what I think? I think you guys should just go have a cup of coffee and see what happens. And then back away.
Yeah, I think if you were to provide any advice, since the word advice came up, it could be, maybe see what happens with Corey when you're not drunk.
Ah, yes.
The fact that they've made out twice.
Yes.
And then there's no
Well,
acknowledgement.
that's when I said cup of coffee. That's
Yeah.
sorry, I was sort of alluding to that.
I
but
mean,
yeah,
I built on
generally,
the
you're
cup of
not
coffee.
shooting whiskey while you're drinking coffee.
Yeah,
but some
yeah.
people, man.
Irish coffee.
Irish coffee. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Step back.
Yeah.
This is not your
This is not
responsibility.
your
This is
responsibility.
life. They're going to meet. These two are going to somehow do something together.
Yes.
It's not you who's causing or stopping it. Let it happen. Let the cards fall where they may. And tell them, as you said, I think Charlene's right. Tell them to do something not drunk.
Yeah. And I think that at most, it should come with a warning that I know I'm not saying you should report back what Corey, how Corey's afraid of hurting her or whatever. Like, I don't think you should go around like reporting back. Like, basically you want to be as uninvolved as possible, but you could just say, from what I've observed about his romantic history, like, I think he has a tendency to be moody and shut people out. But like, as long as you know what you're getting yourself into, like, you have my blessing. I love you, my dear sister.
That's going to be follow-up questions. You're like, wait, what do you mean by moody? What do you mean by that? And then it's going to be a whole conversation. I think just let it happen. And you know what?
My fear is Tia wastes significant amounts of time.
But Tia's not doing anything right now. She's on the beach. She's having trouble. Let it happen.
She's on the beach. Is on the beach like a
on the beach.
code
like you're not
for
doing
having
anything.
trouble?
You're like on
is
the
that
beach.
a thing?
Yeah.
Did I miss out on that growing up?
I think it may be a little antiquated at this point.
On the beach is an expression for...
Yeah, you're on the beach. You really like it when you're at work. Like you're on the beach. You're like, I'm at the beach. I'm not taking calls. I'm not answering email. I'm not doing anything.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
How come I don't know that? I say like off the grid.
Yeah, you say
what?
whatever.
But it's a different meaning. But like so it's like an expression like off the grid.
Yeah.
On the beach.
On the shelf, on the beach.
On the shelf. I know on the shelf.
You're not doing anything.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, Tia, I appreciate this about Tia. Tia's putting herself out there.
Yeah.
And whether or not that will result in a success story with Corey remains to be seen. I think it's extremely doubtful. Like, what do we think the odds are that this turns into?
15 to 20%.
Are you serious?
Is that high?
I was going like 1 to 2.
Oh, come on. 15 to 20 is not high. That's a low percentage.
The odds that Tia and Corey, the siblings of the married couple, end up together?
You never know. 15% is not that high. Actually, maybe you're right. Maybe it's more like 5 to 10.
Oh, I think
5 to 10.
Yeah, I think it's
5
low.
to 10 is reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's lower than 5 personally.
All right.
I feel like this is not a thing.
It's not a thing. Let it be not a thing. Let it be not a thing. Not on her terms.
Yes,
let her just
exactly.
let it be not a thing.
Most importantly, Jane, this is not your problem. I understand you want to look out for your sister, but to be honest, she's going to make her own decisions.
Yeah, don't get involved.
I think Tia's going to go for Corey, whether or not she has Jane's blessing or advice.
And you know what's important here? Corey is not a bad person.
No,
if Corey was a bad person, like a violent person or a really nasty, narcissistic person, that's a different question. Yes. And then she can step in. Yes. But Corey's a sad person. Oh. That's different. And sad people deserve love. And maybe they can make it work with the right person.
Oh, Andy, that's an interesting take you just had. I feel like you relate to Corey.
I do.
You do. The moody.
Yeah.
Because Andy's a little moody. So when you sense someone's moody, you sense that they're sad.
Yeah, there's sadness there.
Yeah.
They're unresolved.
And it's possible that with the right joy in his life, he would be less moody.
Yes. And with the right joy in my life, I'm less moody.
You are. Oh, Andy, what a beautiful way to unpack Corey.
Corey, he likes to skateboard. He also is rather moody. Corey met a girl named Tia who can't find a guy, but now she is with Corey and they fit perfectly.
Oh, wow.
Corey and Tia forever.
Oh, wow.
Without the interlocution of this woman whose name I forgot. What's her name? Jane.
Andy, what an optimistic song. Okay, I was not expecting you to really relate to Corey so well. Corey to me was not the character.
I've had good experiences with Corey's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all my Corey people.
His name's not really Corey.
Doesn't matter. It's Corey is his aura.
I think Corey's his aura.
Yeah, she chose Corey for a reason.
Yes, I think I have a bit more of a heart for Tia than Corey.
I have a heart for both of them. I think they're going to do great. I give it 15 to 25%.
Wow, Andy, you're in a good mood today. You got a good sleep last night.
Yeah, I did.
All right, Jane, good luck. I don't think you're going to need it except in you giving yourself permission to be hands off. That can be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good luck. I guess you do need it.
Yeah. You need it.
All right. So if you thought the last one was complicated in terms of names.
Uh-oh.
This one's a little more complicated, but I think it's an interesting discussion.
Okay.
You think you can handle it?
Can we use numbers instead of names? I'm better with numbers.
Really?
Like we just put numbers on them?
We'll see when we get there.
Okay.
All right. So this is from Anonymous. Dear Shandy, I love your podcast and I am an OG ATTP. All the pretty pandas.
Ooh.
Panda, thank you so much, Anonymous.
Oh.
I'm so touched.
Yeah.
Like when I started that blog, I was not expecting.
I remember. It was so cute. I remember when you started it.
Yeah. I started it in a Toronto hotel room.
Yeah. It's cute.
That was our
Toronto
first trip
hotel.
together.
That was our first trip.
Andy encouraged me to start it because I was a little afraid. Oh, I give you
that's
credit.
nice. Thank you.
I, 27 female, live in San Francisco. I met M, 30 female. Okay, so she's 27 female. She's anonymous.
I'm
And
just gonna
M-
go with 30. That's her name is 30. That's all I can do.
Oh,
I'm not
M.
gonna remember the letters.
So I met M, 30 female,
So she's 30F.
at my former job, and we are now close friends. She has a large friend group that has known each other for 20 plus years that I've since gotten close with as well. When I first met M, or 30F, she had a boyfriend, but is recently single and has been interested in P, 32 male.
32M.
32M. Okay. P is 32M.
Mm-hmm.
They hooked up once before when M, so 30F, was briefly separated from her ex-boyfriend. Now they're kind of doing a will they, won't they dance. P, this is 32M,
Oh, I got it.
is best friends with D, 30M.
Ooh. I think we're gonna have to go back to the letters.
You think?
That's too much.
Okay, so P and D are two guys, 32 and 30,
So they're the same.
and they're best friends.
Okay, so P and D are best friends.
Yes. And she
And-
has been interested in P,
Right.
and P is best friends with D.
Right. And the first 30F was what's her letter?
M.
Okay, so M is M and P and D.
Yes.
Got it. And got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
M and D. So 30F and 30M are really close friends.
Mm-hmm.
But M once approached D about being more than friends. But D said he sees M like a sister.
Got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Following?
Yeah.
D, so this is 30M,
Got it.
has an ex-girlfriend named V. Okay, V is 29 female. Thankfully, she is a different age, 29 female,
Okay.
who lives in
This
Montreal.
is D's ex.
D's ex, very good.
Okay, D's ex is V.
Yes.
And D's best friends with P and with P.
yes.
And
sees M like a sister.
and sees M like a sister.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So D has an ex-girlfriend named V, 29F, who lives in Montreal but comes to San Francisco every summer. D and V dated but could never make it work because of the distance.
Mm-hmm.
This summer, V was visiting for 3 months and stayed with M several times.
Got it.
M. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Sure.
M introduced me, so anonymous, to V.
Okay.
And the three of us hung out together a lot. So the three ladies hung out together a lot in San Francisco. Okay.
D, M, and V.
Yes, very good.
Wait,
No, not D. No.
Her
M,
and V.
anonymous, and V.
Her, A, anonymous V.
Yeah.
M and V.
In August, V confided in M, so the two other women,
Mm-hmm.
and said she was still in love with D.
She loves that D.
You couldn't resist.
Yeah.
V told D, who said nothing had changed and it still wasn't going to work. Oh, poor V.
Wait, say that one part again?
So V was still in love with
Told-
D, her ex.
Right.
And she told D that she was still in love with him.
Right.
But he said that it was never going to work.
Right, got it.
V was devastated.
Mm-hmm.
And M was her number one confidant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you see where this is going?
Sort of, yeah.
V then went back to Canada.
Uh-oh. And M hooked up with D.
Since then, D has been sleeping around, and M says she feels, quote, put in the middle of D and V. So again, D is the guy, he sees M as a sister, and V is his ex, and M and V are now close friends. But you're right. What you predict is what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
Fast forward to today, M told me, anonymous, that she slept with D several times last night. I was shocked.
Several times in one night.
Yeah.
She had to tell her it was several times?
Yeah,
Because several times is different than one time?
Yeah, that's a good
So she
point.
slept with him several times.
Yeah.
So they went to sleep, woke up, went to sleep, woke up, went
Yeah.
to sleep, woke up. I assume that was all that happened.
Yeah, they just
There's a lot of
slept next to each
sleeping
other,
together.
I was shocked and kind of disgusted. Not only has M been interested in D's best friend P, we haven't heard about P in a while, who will be pissed if he finds out, but she is friends with V. And V will be in town this weekend for D's sister's wedding. And is going to be staying with M. So V is coming to visit and is staying with M.
Okay, I got that.
Okay. This entire thing is making me rethink the friendship. But is that silly? Should I address this with M or just let it be and take a step back because these are her longtime friends, not mine? How would you handle this situation, Anonymous? And by the way, the title of the email is My Friend Too Messy? Maybe that's why M is called M for messy.
Can I ask a question? Why was P involved in this?
I'm not really sure. I think it's more that P is the guy that M was supposedly interested in. Like she wasn't even interested in.
I felt like
D.
maybe P could have been left out to make this a little simpler. This is streamlined. It's not that important.
Yeah. But the point being that she claims she was interested in P.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
yeah. But I mean, let's be honest. It sounds like she's always held a candle
This is really
for
about
D.
D and V.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It's good
I
stuff.
think maybe she meant to do that.
And M is messy. I think her name is Messy.
I think so, yeah. Okay. I'm going to let you lead on this one.
Really?
I'm going to let you lead. Yeah, you were hoping I would start, huh?
For me, it's hard to gauge. I get that I feel like Anonymous likes V as a friend. Like she likes V, the ex. It sounds like they hung out. She has a soft spot for her, and like it's like more of this is a moral question, right? If I were you personally, Anonymous, I would just file this away. I would shelve this information. I would not let it affect my friendship. M clearly told you not thinking you would hold it against her or judge her. It does sound like M is messy, but this to me is like a loose lips sink ships. You are not getting involved. You are not judging. You're just not expressing judgment. And these are M's friends. Yeah. If she wants to shit where she eats, that's on her.
Yeah.
Personally. So for me, I look at this and I'm like, just stay away. And you don't need to give M a lecture about how what she's doing is wrong. Yeah. Personally. Like I think M is she's 30 female. I don't think this is like, oh, this is how you behave in the world moment.
She'll learn.
She'll probably learn hard way,
she
honestly.
Won't learn. Either way, I agree with you. Not her place to get involved.
Yeah.
And I think that if she was doing something like really, really bad, then I would consider, maybe distancing her as a friend, because I wouldn't want that coming to me.
Yes.
Or I wouldn't want to get involved in a whole sea of lies where I'd be, like an accomplice.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like, a little like not that huge a deal, I think.
It's, what it feels is juvenile.
It feels a little juvenile.
It feels
high
college.
School. It feels high school. It's like she is jeopardizing her friendship with V in a way that is messy. That's the best word for it.
Yes.
It's not responsible social behavior.
No.
But it's also not evil. It doesn't rise to that level. It's not the kind of behavior where I'd be like, I don't want that person in my house.
I think that depends on who you talk to. I mean, V has expressed wanting to get back together with D, and then M goes and sleeps with D.
It's
multiple
not cool.
times in one night.
You know what it is? It falls into the not cool category.
Extremely not cool.
Extremely
but technically,
not cool.
They weren't still together.
They weren't together. Not technically. They were never going to be together because D had said he doesn't like V.
Yeah, and he's been sleeping around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
To me, this is a not cool. It's not evil. It's not insidious. It's just not cool.
To me, it's bordering, but
it's
because for me, I'm a big. I don't know. I know some people have different rules about this, but I don't date my friends' exes. Like I think there are more fish in the sea.
Nor do I.
Yeah, in my experience, like even in high school, that wasn't something I did. In college, it's not something I did. But granted, I had different tastes in guys than my friends in high school. And in college, I went to like a music school where that was just never going to happen. There was like no straight men at my school. So it's like,
All I'm saying is that it's easy for me to say, as someone who's never really been interested in a friend's ex,
Right.
that this is something that I would never do. But I think it happens.
It happens.
And to me, I agree with you. It's not quite evil.
It's very uncool.
It's extremely
high
uncool.
level, not cool.
To me, it's veering into insidious. Veering, personally.
Maybe. It also, honestly, people who do this, oftentimes this is their drug. It's like they want sort of forbidden relationships,
Well, look at M's. I mean, M is, she is messy.
It's messy. This
She's
is what she
clearly
wants.
messy.
Drama doesn't chase her.
No.
She chases the drama.
Yes.
This is what she does. And, it's not cool and it's not great to be around. Anonymous doesn't have to be the besties with them.
No.
She can just keep her on the outside.
Yeah.
This can be good information for her. Be like, yeah, you know what? I don't approve of that behavior. I don't really want that really in my tight circle. So I'll keep her on the outside circle.
That's what I would do personally.
Yeah. Just make a judgment.
It's sort of like when you have a friend who you really, really are excited about, you like, and then they do something that you're like, oh, it's kind of a letdown. And not necessarily to you, but maybe it's to a mutual friend. It's to someone else, like the way they talk about them or something they do to betray them. It's exactly this.
It changes
basically.
your perception.
Yeah, it's not like it's completely friendship altering, but it is data that I factor into how close I become with that person. So,
this also, your reaction depends on how close you are with the person in general.
Yes.
So in this situation, I don't feel like Anonymous is super close with M, which means that it's not her place to really change her behavior.
Yeah.
If M was Anonymous's best friend, I'd be like, M, I'm a little disappointed in you. This is weak. What are you doing? This is not good behavior. I'm not happy with this. Why are you doing this?
If we're misreading, by the way, Anonymous, if we're misreading how close you are with M, you should listen to what Andy's saying right now, which is that you could confront M and be like, that's really uncool.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't get the vibe that Anonymous is... to be honest, I feel like in a way, she's kind of disgusted and everything, but I get the feeling that already their friendship was not airtight.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I'm getting. And, I always say I want to live in a kind of world where friends can be that honest with each other. I'm going to be honest, though, that for me, if a friend did this, chances are we weren't so close in the first place because it takes years for me of vetting a friend for them to become so close with me.
Yeah.
And chances are this is just one example of other things. This is probably the biggest example, but other things that have prevented them from becoming really close. I have one particular friend who has never done anything to me directly, anything bad to me, but the way they speak about others who we know or other people that I've never even met, but just the way they behave in the world. For me, the word I use for this person is that this person scares me. I don't want to be closer with this person than I already am, just based on how they treat the other people in their life.
Right. I also want to say, I know who this person is.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about?
I know, and all the people who are listening, we know our friends who are listening. I'm telling you, it's not you. It's just rest assured.
Yeah, there's just someone who scares me.
Yeah, I know.
Because I just don't want to be closer with them. That's all. That's the only way I can put it.
You may catch what they have. You roll with the pigs. You get money.
Yeah, and I just don't want to be spoken about in the way that they speak about the other people that they're close with, that kind of thing. So I just don't, I protect myself. Anonymous, that's how I would handle the situation you're in right now.
I agree. If you have an inner circle friend who suddenly is behaving out of character in a bad way, that it's your job to discuss it with them.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that.
That's inner circle,
That's inner circle friend. If you have an outer circle friend who's behaving badly, it's your choice if you want to get involved. But honestly, most of the time, I show my feelings with my face and my general responses to what they have to say about it.
Yeah.
But I don't get involved. I'm not going to teach them. It's not my job. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get dirty.
You're not their parent.
Yeah.
That's a way, I'm sorry, time is money, time is energy.
It's not, I didn't pay for that drama.
No, you did not pay for that drama.
Want that.
You didn't sign up for that to educate, to discipline your friend on how to behave in the world.
And you know what? Drama begets drama. What this M likes, she likes to not only get into drama situations, she likes the drama to spread, to become like an ecosystem of drama.
Yeah.
And don't feed it.
Yeah. I agree.
Let her have her mess on her own. She'll figure it out. It's not your problem. And keep her, I would say, not in the inner circle.
Yeah. She maybe was in the running for inner circle, but she just blew it.
Yeah. She's very not cool about her behavior.
In my opinion, yeah. Meanwhile, it sounds like Anonymous and V maybe have a friendship in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, Anonymous. Hopefully this helped. Thank you for your very confusing question.
Yeah.
I actually think it was really juicy.
Let's talk about P.
P.
Yeah, I want to know more about P.
Well, interesting. She mentioned that she thinks P would be pissed.
All right. So he's pissed. That's where the P comes
from. Yeah, but pissed to find out that they had hooked up. So it sounds like maybe M did betray P in some way by doing this.
Yeah. So she betrayed two people.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just hard to know. It's hard to know. I wasn't really getting that P was reciprocating M's interest until we find out that he would be pissed. Anyway, who knows? Who knows?
Moving
Not
on.
your problem, Anonymous.
Not your problem.
Congratulations.
Hello, it's fresh. I want to get inside your cozy fridge. I want to make your cooking easier.
Oh, yes.
I want to make your wife love you more.
HelloFresh. I am so missing HelloFresh here in Ireland. In fact, just before we got rolling with this ad, I said, we have no food. I'm stressed.
Yeah.
Like literally, I just ate a kiwi and just tied me over and I don't know what we're going to do after this. We're going to have to go find ingredients and cook. It's just hard to keep up with keeping a fridge full of ingredients that you can easily turn into meals. If you have HelloFresh, meanwhile, America's #1 meal delivery kit is food delivered to your door. All the ingredients you need to make a delicious, healthy meal. You cook it, but everything is brought to you. The recipe and all the ingredients. And plus the food is just like delicious.
And it's fun to cook.
It
makes you
is.
feel like you're a chef.
It's been cooking lessons for us in many ways.
Yeah.
Plus, their menu is ever changing. They have over 50 different recipes to choose from each week and over 100 add-ons. So you really don't get bored, which is, that's a risk for some of these meal delivery kits.
And you save money. Let's be honest.
Yes, big time.
Whether you're going out or even whether you're shopping.
Well, groceries aren't cheap.
Yeah. You're saving money. You're eating healthy. You're making the kitchen fun.
I mean, right now, I would do anything for a HelloFresh bag in the fridge right now.
Let's think about it. Make it happen. Ready?
Let's manifest.
Ready? And it's in there.
It just so happens that I have a HelloFresh arriving the day we return to the States.
The day. Not one day later.
Nope.
So get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free Shandy.
Applied across 7 boxes, new subscribers only, and varies by plan.
That's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/free Shandy.
All right. This next question is from W. Dear Shandy.
Isn't W funny? It's a funny letter.
It's a W.
Yeah.
That's literally what it means. It's a double.
If
U.
I were a W, I'd be kind of like, why don't I get my own name?
I agree.
Like, why is my name just based on
There's
someone
no
else's
other letter
name?
that has that situation.
Not that I can think of.
No, it's just W.
Like, can you imagine being A? You're A. You're like, yeah, I'm A. And W is like, oh, I'm
You're
just
right.
a double
W is
U.
the biggest loser of the alphabet. It's just two U's.
Yes. You know what the coolest one is? Q.
Q is great.
Q's
Q's
great.
the coolest by far. Q is the guy at the back of the club with the shades on.
Yeah.
He's having a cigarette.
Yeah. All the other letters want to be Q's friend.
Yeah, Q is the coolest letter.
Yeah.
Who's like the most psychotic letter? Z. Z?
That's too obvious.
Oh, wow.
Let me think about
So
that.
strict.
I have to think about that.
Well, let's sing and let's stop at letters where we think there's a strong personality.
Okay.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
These are all strong personalities.
Yeah.
It gets weaker as you
I is kind of like,
Yeah.
J is.
I can see H being a real psycho.
I see what you mean.
You know, H really like messes with other letters.
Yeah.
H.
Well, H is like several other letters kind of.
Also,
it could be
H is
two
name.
I's. It could be. It's
Also,
almost
the name
an A.
H.
H.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds mean.
Yeah.
I, J,
K. No. H.
I, J, K. K might be a little.
Too obvious.
Okay.
Yeah, so
L,
H is a good one.
Okay.
K.
L, M, N, O. O is, you know what O is? O
Popular.
popular and very cool.
Yeah.
But not like Q cool.
No.
Just like really like, he's a quarterback on the football team.
Is winning valedictorian.
He's not the quarterback. He's not at all.
Yeah.
He's actually the cool, like the kind of guy who just plays by his own rules.
Yeah, he's like the cool nerdy
like philosopher.
kid. Yeah.
He's like the philosopher cool
Totally.
guy. Yeah. Okay. O-P. Q.
You think P could be a psycho?
P is he's just rank and file. He's not that interesting.
It's always the rank and file, not interesting one who's the psycho.
Maybe he's the he's the one they're like, yeah, P never bothered anybody. Just never silent.
Q R
S T U
V.
V.
It's V.
V. No, but V is like lead. They're the leader. V is a very evil businessman.
Yes.
They're running a bad corporation for the letters.
Yeah.
It's causing
V
trouble.
wears a suit.
Yeah, definitely a suit.
Yeah.
No question. But V is that they're not just a leader. They're they're like a narcissistic leader.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What's after V?
STUVW.
X. X is an interesting one. I'm not sure what's going on with X.
Too obvious.
Okay.
Y and Z.
All right.
Okay. So it's V and H for me.
V and H, yeah. And O and Q are very good.
Yeah.
We're down with O and Q.
O is a star.
O is like,
that was the best.
If I have to hang out with two people on a desert island for the rest of my life, O and Q. No question.
Also
although
A.
I'd feel like a loser. I'd feel like P.
I love you.
Oh.
It's been a while since we did a Q&A. Things are getting weird around here. All right, W. Dear Shandy, I love your Q&A episodes and have always wanted to write in. You guys are hilarious and so wise. I feel like we didn't earn that just now. I, 30F, have been happily married with my husband, 30M, for 5 years. We, on the West Coast, usually visit either his family on the East Coast or my family in Asia. His family are great people. We have a polite relationship with his family, and other than the holidays, we don't talk at all during the year.
Sounds honky-dory. Lots of love.
Something about that right after his family are great people.
Yeah. We have a polite relationship and we never speak to them and we don't have to ever.
My question is, do I need to visit my in-laws during the holidays when my husband is visiting them? He says that he doesn't really care whether I join him or not, and that he's mainly going because of familial obligations. I don't think I'll be missed either, since his family will get to spend more time with him when I'm not there. Honestly, I'd rather not go because I
couldn't have figured that out on my own.
His family lives in the suburbs and there's nothing to do within a 30-minute drive. B, I feel a lack of freedom in his house. Since it's not my house, it always feels a bit restrictive. And C, he has some other 10-year-old cousins that are just so loud and impolite. I personally avoid children wherever I go, but this case feels a bit unavoidable. Are you relating to this question at all, Andy?
No.
I'm not visiting my parents this holiday, but I was wondering if it's rude if I don't visit my in-laws with my husband. Is this similar to your birthday episode where it's probably not a big deal since I won't be missed? Thank you for any insights, W. This is an interesting one. The sense of obligation.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's even 1 ounce of her that wants to go visit his family.
No.
And she's making it sound like she's okay with his family, but really she doesn't like his family.
No, I think she likes them as people in small doses, but she doesn't like feeling trapped in their house over the holidays.
I don't think she loves his family.
Oh, you think?
She doesn't care for them.
Yeah.
Like she when I say she doesn't care for them, like not like she hates them. I'm saying they're just like
she's indifferent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like steamed cauliflower.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, if you need a health kick, sure. But are you really going to jump for the steamed cauliflower?
No. I mean, cauliflower, it was not meant to be steamed.
But they serve it all the time.
It's like boiled Brussels sprouts, like way to ruin a perfectly good vegetable.
Yet, like literally at least 1 out of 4 times I go to a restaurant, they throw steamed cauliflower on my plate. What is that?
I'm sorry, roasting. All vegetables should be roasted.
Why is there steamed cauliflower on my plate ever? In a restaurant, I'm paying for this.
No, terrible.
It's an insult.
It is.
Point is, she doesn't love his family. She doesn't like spending time with them. She doesn't want to have anything to do with them.
I have a feeling W hearing this is like, no. I really do like them fine.
I get the feeling if she was told that without any repercussions, she would never see his family ever again, she would be very happy.
Okay, so what is your advice to W?
My advice is you're being a bit of a dick, because you are W. Well, W is actually a loser.
But W is
no, you're not a loser.
Yeah,
W, the letter is a loser.
Yeah.
Along with P. But you don't want to see his family. You shouldn't force it. But I will say this. You will be seen as not a nice person.
Not nice. Not a good sport.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, but the thing is, this is crucial. Does his family know that she's not going to Asia to see her family? If they don't know, then there's no victim. Trust me, they will only want to see their son. They are indifferent to her coming too.
How do you know?
I just have a feeling.
You don't think they're sore about it at all?
No, because I don't think they need to know that she's not going to Asia to see her family. Look, if she were going to Asia to see her family, they'd be like, oh, hope W's having a great time in Asia. But actually, I have a different answer than it sounds like I have.
There's a big difference going to Asia than just going to like this place. It's not far away.
I know, but my point being is that she would otherwise have other plans.
No, I get that. But I understand
but
that.
Believe it or not, my answer is actually not what it sounds like it is. I think she should go.
Well, I do too, but I don't want to force her hand.
I know.
Like she doesn't want to do this.
Yeah, so W, I'm hesitant to give the advice I think you should, that you should go, because I know it's probably not what you want to hear. It's funny. A lot of the questions today are asking us permission.
Permission to do bad things.
Yeah. Yes. Are we becoming the enabling?
Oh my God.
We're like the parents that are like,
they listen to other podcasts and they're like, oh my God, do the right thing. It's always so nice to be nice. And we're dicks. We're just like, break up with them. Go to hell. Screw her.
Yeah.
They're coming to us for bad advice.
No, not bad advice.
Mean advice.
No, just permission to do what they really want to do, which they know might not be.
They're coming to us for id advice. They want to release their id on the Shandy.
Yeah. So look, I think if his family doesn't find out that you are not going to Asia to see your family over the holidays, I think that there are not really any victims here. You can do whatever you want. However, if they somehow know you are not going to go see your family, right now you're 30, like she and her husband are 30. Like there may come a day where you're like, oh, I really wish, you're at a really prime age right now where everyone, I hope I'm not assuming, but like most people are probably alive and healthy. It's a special age.
Oh, at 30?
Yeah, she's married. There's not a ton of window that we're talking where you are married and your families are alive and relatively healthy.
Right.
I'm not to get dark.
Right, sure.
I don't mean to get dark.
Sure.
But in 15 years, it might look different. It might look different sooner than you expect.
Right.
And I just think that, part of the holidays, part of spending time with family is sometimes being annoyed by the loudness of the cousins and the lack of freedom and the creativity that comes from the lack of freedom. Maybe you start doing jigsaw puzzles, and maybe you play a game of Monopoly, and maybe you bring your Nintendo Switch over and play Mario Kart with those cousins. You know what I mean? Like you never know what could emerge from a place of boredom and of feeling constrained. All I'm saying is that I think this, for me, my sense of obligation would win out here, and I would probably go.
I agree with you. This is my policy about family of significant others.
Yeah.
My policy is you don't have to go every single trip.
Yeah.
But you should go on the big holidays, the big family gatherings, you should go. And the reason you should go is because that is your obligation as a significant other. You are part of the family.
Unless they're terrible to you.
Unless they're actually, that's a big caveat.
Huge
if the
caveat.
family is terrible to you, you absolutely don't have to go.
You don't get along, then don't.
But that's not what's happening here.
Don't do what you don't want to do.
But that's another question. That's not what's happening here. In general, as long as the family is not terrible to you, it is an obligation to go on major holidays. And my policy is this: I will always go. And if I don't go, It's a statement I'm making.
So you think she's making a statement by not going?
If I don't go to a major gathering where I'm expected, I am making a statement. It is an active statement that I'm like, I don't know. Not only do I not really care for you, I don't know if I want to be in this relationship. And I've done that before. It'll never happen with you.
I will say,
I love your family.
Andy is amazing. I will say you always come.
No, but I come because I like your family.
Yeah, but also,
I like them a lot and I like you.
I feel like you could probably relate to some aspects of this question. Like when we go home to Ottawa, we're all in the same house together.
It gets crazy.
It gets crazy. And my sister has 4 kids and they can be very loud and boisterous in
like
the
all
house.
kids. Yeah.
And in order to get anywhere, pretty much you need a car. I'm not saying it's not a 30-minute drive to do anything, but it's not like you're just strolling to the bodega across the street to pick something up.
It's mildly inconvenient, but you trade the warmth of family.
Yes.
I feel like I'm with family when I'm with your family, even if it's not perfectly convenient in every way.
Yeah.
And I will always go to your family gatherings, but this is different. I'm not going to toot my own horn about how much I like your family and how good our relationship. Yeah, I'm tooting. I guess that's not tooting. That's doing something else. But I believe that if you do not go to your significant other's major family gatherings, you have to not go because you are making an official statement.
Yeah.
You are making a statement that I do not like you. I do not know if I'm going to stay in this relationship, and this is what I'm doing. I'm staying home.
Okay. I think I have a slightly softer approach. I agree, though it comes off as a statement.
Even if she doesn't be a statement.
If she doesn't even mean it as a statement, it comes off as a statement.
That's my point. You're making a statement. Why not just believe in your statement?
Yeah, okay, so it becomes an impact over intent moment.
Yes.
The impact of her not going, even though for her it's just like, I just don't really care. I just don't really want to go. Comes off a lot more like I'm making a statement.
Look, you could take the path of least resistance. Just stay home.
Yes.
But do you know how many things in life we all have to do that we don't want to do that are part of life?
Yeah.
Half of the things I do in life I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But you do them because that's life.
Yeah.
And you know what? Being with your significant other's family is something you do. And he's being a really good sport by saying like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But deep down, he probably is like, you know what? I'm all bummed about this. I feel like she should be here.
Yeah.
But he's just a nice guy and he's not telling her. Maybe she's like kind of, makes the rules in the house. I will say
I don't need you to come home for Christmas at my family's place, but I'm always glad when you do.
Yeah, but imagine if I did. Imagine I was like, I'm not coming home for Christmas this year.
Yeah,
you'd be like, what? And your family would be pissed.
They wouldn't be pissed, but they'd be
upset.
Like, oh,
they better be upset.
They would notice.
They would notice,
even though it might result in more time with me. They would notice.
They would notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, W. We're not handing out permission easily today.
No, I'm giving her permission. But I am also saying the bed you make is the bed you will sleep in. I recommend you go.
Yeah.
Makes your life easier.
Sorry, W. You should probably go.
Yeah, you should probably go.
You should go unless something huge comes along. Like if suddenly she's going to go on this girls' trip to Mexico over the holidays, and absolutely, that's a really good adventure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have a good excuse, take it.
And if our answer inspires a good excuse, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go do a girls' trip, then you're welcome.
Party. Make an excuse.
Yes.
Create an excuse.
Yes.
Use this as an opportunity to create an excuse, or go and maybe find a way to bond with one of these kids. Or just
or his parents,
mix it up.
Remember,
figure out a way to make friends with them.
Your beloved is a product of that family.
Yeah, and you will be part of that family whether you like it or not.
Yes. Okay, W. Good luck. I don't think you need it. If you're not going to go, though, do something fun. Make that your excuse.
It's funny. Her family is like, oh, where's your wife? She's like, oh, she's having a bender with her friends.
Bender.
Yeah, she don't want to come. It's getting wasted.
All right. This next question is from R, as in the letter. R, that's a cool letter.
It is a cool letter.
R is a very
You know what
cool
R is? R is the artsy.
Yes.
Very artsy.
Oh, R is wearing a beret.
Yeah, but also a little trouble.
Oh, totally.
Kind of like they're good at the art, but a little annoying. Yeah, a little too much art.
Dear Shandy, I love your show and find that you both handle questions with such care and consideration that I thought I'd give it a go.
No.
Thank you, R. I am struggling to make true friendships, and I know that I am partly responsible for being a bit of an introvert, but also because I think people gravitate towards pretty faces, and I do not have one of those.
I am a 37-year-old female who was born with a cleft lip and palate. I've had a number of corrective surgeries through the years, and although in my head I look normal, when I take a selfie or catch myself in a weird angle, my flaws can not only put a damper on my day, but my whole week. Ugh. I do some contouring and an overlining of my lip in order to create the illusion of symmetry, but I fear I am not fooling anyone. My nose is also quite large for my face despite having had 3 nose jobs. No, it's not in my head. I have the same problem that Andy has when drinking out of a wine glass, and as a woman that is more unattractive. So this is a reference to Andy when you sip out of a...
my nose gets in the way.
No.
Champagne glass.
Honestly, I find it endearing. And regardless of gender... Just saying. I have kids in school and I have one mom friend, but everyone else is a mere acquaintance. I sense that people don't gravitate towards me because I don't look like everyone else. I have a great job, a wonderful husband, and 3 gorgeous children. Why am I so depressed about not having friends? In order to fix what I can control, I'd love advice on how to be more approachable and how to create friendships despite my exterior. How can I make friends out of acquaintances and strengthen old friendships that have become cold? Thank you, R.
Oh
my God, I have such a strong opinion about this.
Let's hear it.
So actually this question, even though the subject matter is completely different, reminds me of two Q&As ago when someone wrote in, they were, I think, 67 or something, and it was about dyeing their gray hair. And she was like, oh, and I'm really confident in my age, but she also found a way to like say that she wasn't like our other listeners, and like she would find ways to justify her age, but then claim to be really confident in her age. And we kind of called her out on it, and we were like, you're not actually owning, like you're not actually being proud of it. And I feel like R is walking around with such a misrepresentation of how the world sees her.
Well, she's acting to the world like she sees herself.
Yes.
She's presenting herself as what she believes to be an ugly person.
Yes, which I guarantee you. She says, the world is drawn to pretty faces and I do not have one of those. Like, can you imagine how the person who would say that about themselves moves through the world?
Right. They move through the world small.
Yes.
Obsequious.
Yes. And like unworthy. Like they
unworthy.
Inferior.
Yeah. What's not attractive is
not
the feeling
face.
of not being attractive.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the feeling that she brings about. I know that when I'm drawn to someone, I'm drawn to their energy, to the effort they put in with me, to the questions they ask,
intelligence,
to their intelligence,
empathy,
to all this
humor.
Yes. And I read something recently that really stayed with me. It was about friendships and how you shouldn't, I'm about to butcher this, but how you shouldn't talk about how you want your friendships to be. You should behave now how you want your friendships.
Right.
Like behave now in your friendships the way you want them to be. Like don't wait for your friendships to be what you want them to be to behave that way in them. Does that make any sense?
Choose to make them the way you want them to be.
Yeah, with your actions. And right now she says, how these friendships have become cold. How do I strengthen old friendships that have become cold? You don't have to wait for them to warm. You can start acting now. Like you can start behaving in your friendships the way you want to be treated in your friendships. Right. And you'll be amazed. Like when I actually made an effort, a concerted effort in my platonic friendships after the pandemic. Because I feel like with the pandemic, I got kind of like, I became extremely hermit-like.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. I became really insulated and like, I developed a kind of like social anxiety for a while. Yeah. And I think, a lot of people did. And I made a real concerted effort at the top of this year of 2024 to not do that anymore and to like call friends on the phone, or like when I felt an impulse to tell a friend something, to just do it. And instead of, kind of like waiting for the friendship to become worthy of that or to become deeper or whatever. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, it's now. Now is the time. And now is also the time, to stop talking about yourself in this way. Yeah. And I know that this is something that's
this is years. Like, this is clearly something she's carried with her whole life. And so
this has been the formative experience of her personality massively, to some degree.
But it sounds like she's got some people in her life. She's got a fabulous husband.
She's got family.
3 beautiful kids. It sounds like if you observe where she's invested her positive energy, it sounds like a lot has come back to her.
Yeah.
What would happen if she invested that same kind of positive energy outward towards herself? Because you put the mask on the mask on the plane, you put it on yourself before you put it on other people. Yeah. She needs to love herself a bit more.
And I also think that if you look at your life, if she takes inventory of her life and she sees the beautiful kid she has and the beautiful husband she has, and it sounds like she has a good life. Mm-hmm. She should live through that.
Yes.
She should front face that experience when she interacts with people, not walk up to someone and immediately picture her face the way she sees it. By the way, I don't know what her face looks like.
Yeah.
It's possible she's one of those people who's like actually gorgeous and is like, oh, I have this thing. And you're like, are you crazy?
Totally.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what she looks like.
By the way, I actually think a cleft lip and palate can look
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I actually think
sex symbol.
It's true.
There's been other people with cleft lips who's sex symbol too, but that's totally irrelevant.
Yes,
this is not the point. The point is that
she perceives herself that way.
It doesn't matter what your face looks like. If you present yourself as someone, a hero, your hero, people will like you.
Yeah,
and if there are people who don't like you, even though you present yourself as a confident, gregarious, fun person, interesting person, they still don't like you because of your face.
Yeah.
Those are not people you want in your life.
Such a good point.
And it's a favor. They're doing you a favor by not being your friend.
Yes.
But you don't want those kind of people.
Yeah.
No, confidence is intoxicating. And it's often, I find, more intoxicating when it comes from someone who doesn't seem like they would be confident.
Absolutely. And I do believe that how you speak to yourself, you've said this before, how you speak to yourself.
Yeah, your body doesn't know the difference between lies and truth.
Yes. I really believe in this. Your body is shutting down every time you pick apart your selfie or assume that people just see a physically ugly person. Like, how toxic. Would you ever talk to anybody? Would you ever tell your children to speak to themselves in the way you speak to yourself?
Right. And they're the 7 deadly sins, which I only know because I saw the movie 7. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, I would probably guess 3 or 4 of them, as they're obvious.
Yeah.
But vanity.
Yes.
Vanity. And when I saw vanity, I was like, vanity, really? Vanity's not that bad. This is not that bad. But you know what? It is.
It is.
It is bad because if vanity will only lead to bad places because your looks, no matter how good they are, will fade.
Yes.
And what happens when you have been building a life on vanity and your looks are gone?
Yeah.
What happens to you? There's nothing left.
Yeah.
You're ruined. And I think that the strongest people are people who don't care at all about their front-facing appearance. Those
Absolutely.
are people who only care about their character. And this woman has a strong character, a very good life, and you take away her perception of what her face looks like, she should lead like a CEO.
Yes.
She should walk into a room and be like, I'm a badass.
Actually, one of the things I did gain from the pandemic, speaking of the pandemic, was caring less about that.
Yeah. Well, because every day you're like in sweats without makeup and your hair, you haven't showered in 2 or 3 weeks.
And I actually gained the confidence to go out in that state, which before that, I felt very like insecure if I didn't have my armor on, like my face on, my outfit on, my hair done and all that stuff. But I actually think I have way more soul now than I did then. That person, like I feel sorry for that person for needing all that.
I couldn't agree. I'm so glad that the pandemic honestly was a good house cleaning for a lot of people.
Yes, it was for sure.
I mean,
and it's the reason Dear
not
Shandy
good
exists.
for a lot of people,
Yeah, no, totally. But it is the reason Dear Shandy exists.
For the people who made it through.
It's the reason Dear Shandy exists.
Dear Shandy exists. Yes. And I will say that there's something else about not looking perfect. I believe that the only reason I have any personality is because I was made fun of for how I looked when I was a kid. I was mocked and teased, and it did not feel good, and it hurt a lot, and it stayed with me. And those are the kind of things that kind of build character, I feel, and build interesting personalities.
Yes.
And, maybe you should thank your cleft lip or your big nose, because maybe you're the person you are today because of those in a way.
Yes.
But now shed those in the ways that they are setting you back.
Totally. I could not agree more. And I really love what you said about how anyone who wouldn't want to be your friend because you aren't quote unquote pretty are not people you would ever want to be friends with. Like that's like high school level. Like why would you want to be friends with those people?
It's an easy weeding out process.
Yes. It's done for you. You're right. Yeah. They're doing her a favor.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't waste time on them.
No.
And don't even if friendships are sour and you haven't done anything to cause it and you're trying your best, forget about it.
Or she also hasn't done anything to unthaw them.
Right.
Because I have to hold her accountable for that, because I know myself, I had to adjust this again post-pandemic. I don't think I was the most present friend for a while. I don't think that I was as involved in my friends' lives, because I had developed this like bizarre anxiety around these people that I love and who I know and who knew me. Like you want to be the friend that you want to be on the receiving end of. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, and you could start that today.
In general, I want you to work on this exercise. When you walk into a room now, I have a feeling you walk in and you see your face walking into the room. Like you actually feel your face guiding you in your entrance into a room. What I want you to do is imagine your face as an amalgam of all the accomplishments you've made in your life and all the things you've built and all the goodness you've given.
With love. Like I feel like she has love to offer in friendships. And she talks about how to turn acquaintances into friendships. Like what I have found to have great results for me is literally saying to someone like, I really enjoyed getting to know you. Like, I want to be your friend.
Yeah.
And that sounds like kind of uncool.
No.
But that actually has led to some of my favorite friendships. Like, I just like you. I want to be your friend. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah.
And then actually following through on that. You would be amazed, truly, just saying you want to be someone's friend.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to feel that way. Like, who doesn't want to feel like...
Everyone wants to be liked.
Yes.
Not in a creepy way.
No.
Or a really aggressive way.
Why do you have to take it there?
Like, you're going to be my friend.
Okay, hopefully this will be received as the pep talk that it is obviously meant to be. But when I read this, I was just like, no. That the confidence is intoxicating, and your body cannot tell the difference whether it's a truth or a lie. So you might as well just start lying to yourself about how beautiful you think you are, because the world is going to receive you in that way.
Yes, walk into the room with the face of you on the inside, not what you percove on the outside.
Which I guarantee you, by the way, no one is looking at her and being
no
like,
one cares.
"Oh no." I guarantee you that's another lesson in life is that no one cares as much about you.
Not even
or certainly how you look.
As much as you care.
Totally. Yeah. Okay, Andy, that is a wrap for this Q&A. I missed doing these.
Should we do breathing work after our Q&As?
Breath work.
Oh, is it
breath work? Is pretty cool, by the way.
It is good. It's very powerful. I used to poo-poo it, and now I do it. I poo-pooed every single thing, and now I believe in all of it.
Yeah. Well,
gluten.
Do you want to tell the Shandies about gluten?
I mean, I poo-pooed gluten. I was one of the great poo-pooers of gluten. One of the greats.
Gluten intolerance.
No, I wasn't poo-pooing gluten. I was tearing into gluten.
Yeah.
I was eating as much gluten as humanly possible. And I was people would say, "Oh, gluten-free is really great." I was like, please.
Yeah.
I would mock them.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And now
was I wrong?
Now you don't eat gluten.
I do not eat gluten.
And you feel amazing.
I won't eat gluten. And you know what? I don't even want to cheat. When you're like, "Oh, you can cheat." I'm like, "No, I'm not cheating. It's not worth it."
He's very diligent.
Anyway, my point is, I don't remember.
Is you no longer poo-poo things
Oh,
you
I
used
don't
to poo-poo.
poo-poo things that I used to poo-poo. I'm a no poo-pooer. I don't poo-poo anymore.
Okay, that is where we wrap. If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram and
TikTok.
Leave us Apple and
Spotify.
Podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends and generally do all the things you would do to support a podcast that you enjoy and that takes the time to answer your fantastic questions.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. I was wondering, you were really waiting till the last second today.
You gotta keep those real Shandies. Yes.
Ruby.
You know where you go. that was easy.
No hesitation.
Ruby, go to mommy. She's sad.
Ruby, come on.
Ruby, go to mommy. She needs some love too. I feel bad.
Ruby, come on.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm holding her.
Yeah,
She's
she
staying here.
shows you.
She's staying. You're not going anywhere. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.